The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spin-off. You can help us keep all of The Spin-off's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Ta-da! Welcome along to the Real Pod.
Wow.
What?
It's a jingle now.
Excuse me,
Whoa.
sorry.
Whoa.
That's a spoiler alert.
Alex, Casey.
Wombat poo coming out.
They knew.
You're home. Okay, my name's Janie. I'm joined by Alex Casey and Duncan Grieve. This is your real life in New Zealand and reality TV recap podcast or something like that.
So, pithy, just rolls off the tongue.
Whatever.
We've got a very exciting podcast for you today. Last of all, we will be recapping the Bachelorette NZ, now a whopping 3 nights a week. And Tara Reid-Ward, TV writer for The Spin-off, will be zooming in from Wellington?
New Plymouth.
New Plymouth,
The
close
Spin-off's
enough.
New Plymouth correspondent.
So, and we'll be kicking Alex Casey out because she worked on the show and she's now allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, there was some. We weren't clear about that last time. Apparently, there was a lot of chatter in the corner.
Was
a lot
there?
of confusion.
Well, no, it was Stuart Somanland threw us under the bus, said that we were vague, and that is the Real Pod way.
That's defamatory.
It's also just
Where is your
very
evidence?
good, accurate reporting.
That was his live update. Stuart's our live updates editor, in case you didn't know.
But yes, because I worked on the season, I will be removing myself from all reality check to do with the Bachelorette. I will not be in the room because it's church and state for me.
Okay, but other things that we've got coming up on the podcast, just all the usual. Just like Wayne's World, we've got more corn themed snacks to review, a community notice board, and big time question in Colin's Cranny. Is it a question or a statement? Oh, we'll have to wait and
It's
see.
a thought starter.
Warning you now that if you're hanging around for the Max Kick Corner sting, it's not going to happen because we don't have any news on Max.
We're sort of
I think we
protesting.
just play the sting anyway.
But then I feel like we need to kind of, by removing it, it's sort of more than any other signal in his life. It says you need to be more active, mate.
You need to get something. Okay.
I mean, he
Okay.
did stop all social media activity around the time that we stopped making the Real Pod.
Which is also around the time that,
Interesting.
COVID.
yeah.
So you
Chicken
do,
or
you
the
do the
egg?
math. We need to do a little real life update. There's puzzle news.
We got puzzle news. We're just going to get it straight into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else. We don't have Nando's anymore. I mean, we still love them,
We
but
can still thank them.
Yeah.
okay, thanks Nando's.
Thank you for everything. Well, look
Past,
out,
present,
Jane,
future.
for the next 13 birthdays. Because my mum's been buying up a storm on Trade Me.
Yay!
She bought 13 puzzles for $26, which I thought was a pretty good deal.
I also think she could probably make a lot of money out of breaking those down into individual puzzles. Like it feels like everything's been huge inflation, especially stay-at-homey stuff.
I got to
Puzzles.
tell you, there's a lot of puzzles in op shops and the like. There's no shortage of
We're not
of puzzles.
running out.
We're not.
What's your feeling about the puzzles that are like cryptic or have like a secret to unlock or are kind of backwards?
Get the fuck out.
Really?
I'm a purist. give me an oil painting any day.
A deeply conservative puzzler.
There's this quite interesting one she's got, which is called The Pharaoh's Curse. And it's on the front is just a picture of a black cat in front of what looks sort of like a tomb with some sort of hieroglyphics around it. But then it's like, disclaimer, this is not what the puzzle looks like.
Yeah, I mean, why even do that?
So it's like, well,
Just going to put
I don't know what
anything on
this
that.
is.
I feel quite passionately about this. I hate those bloody was
Was
jig.
Was
No, they're
good.
not was
Gidge.
gidge. I mean, you can't even say it. Everyone says it wrong. Just put the picture that you're supposed to be replicating on the front of the box. Motherfucker.
What about the ones that are white? just white.
I have one I have a puzzle that's a gradient that just goes from black to white, and it is.
See, that to me is just as
It's
bad.
the worst time of my life. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, that's puzzle news.
It's puzzle news.
I just
Get in
want to
touch.
say, there is a risk when you're buying secondhand puzzles about
The
missing
missing
pieces,
pieces.
which is an incredibly unsatisfying way to spend a couple of days to get to the end and realise that you've got 2 bits missing.
That could be a good job for you at an op shop,
Terrible job.
doing all the little,
So
I like to do it for pleasure, not for work. I feel like if I had to do it for a job, that would ruin
But
it.
you could just count them, right? Right, you don't have to actually do them.
yeah, but then someone could be slipping in.
Yeah, it could be.
That
fill
would be
it.
such a fiendish
Fill a
thing to do. Just like, yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's move on. Let's move on to TikTok. Big news.
I was hoping they'd be like deeper into the pod. Like, and I don't know whether I should be airing my sort of home concerns. Basically, one of my daughters is getting heavily into TikTok. She's just an observer, not a contributor. But there's been this vegan teacher who she's been consumed with rage at for ages. And Robin's a vegetarian and very, simpatico with the vegan cause. But this vegan teacher, who I've never actually seen, is apparently just like extremely militant and basically says, if you are not a vegan, I'm just paraphrasing, this is extreme hearsay here. If you're not a vegan, then you're a terrible person, and that everyone should be a vegan to the point where even if there is some kind of health reason that suggests you shouldn't, you must be one. And it was all kind of, okay, that's sort of fine. This is early social media. You're just beginning your journey into hell. But then they've got this new thing where all of the whatever TikTok community she's in, which is basically vegan sympathetic but not militant, somehow that narrow band, is...
Sorry, how old is Robin?
She's 11.
That's okay.
They're going to report... They're all planning to mass report the vegan teacher on February 12th. And I'm like, it's not... And she's like, she's got into her head that there are people dying because this teacher is pressuring them such that they transform their diets into things that harm them. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. And also, like, I'm trying to teach her about acceptable boundaries for speech, like hate speech is bad, and she's getting very upset over it. And I'm really struggling my powers of persuasion are not cutting through.
I'm with Robin.
February 12th.
Sign me up.
So you're on the top.
I already put it in my cal. God. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you either. I don't understand TikTok. I find it hard to use.
Why don't you start a TikTok?
That'll get her off.
That'll get her off.
That's a good idea. I don't necessarily want her off. I just like it's sort of maddening. This, or I don't know whether to sort of applaud her kind of desire for moderation, which is a lack of militancy, or be freaked out about her attempting to cancel someone for basically just being annoying, which, like, fair play, that's probably the main reason someone should be cancelled. But, it's anyway, we're going to discuss it over dinner tonight. Hopefully there's some resolution but, it's
Oh my God,
complicated.
Duncan,
So complicated.
just take a step back, zoom out, and think about all the terrible things you could be looking at and doing and engaging with on TikTok. And being a bit angry at someone for being over the top with their veganism is probably high on the scale.
It's hard to know what's going on. Eh? Probably should look at the content.
Look at the content.
content.
Okay. I'll bring you an update next week.
Mittens got kidnapped. And when
Catnapped.
I say kidnapped, when I say mittens, I don't mean the ones that you wear on your hands. I mean the famous Wellington cat.
Is that not the first mittens you think of?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Duncan was
who-
drawing a
You
blank.
You don't know who mittens is.
I feel like I've really let the team down.
I'm going to cancel you on February 12th.
Oh, no.
Can you do 13th because we've got the vegan on the 12th?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Need a schedule
Busy.
of cancellations. Yeah.
There's a lot of cat news this week. Well, Mittens is like the unofficial cat mayor of Wellington, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think a lot of people kind of hate Mittens almost. Mittens is beloved, but I think that Ben Thomas might hate Mittens.
Is there a backlash?
I think
Of-
there's a
of
little
one,
bit
of Ben
backlash.
Thomas.
Maybe, yeah. But Mittens is like this super confident sort of cat that just prances around Wellington and goes in and out of offices, homes, gets photographed with people. Is just a little celeb. Yeah. And he looks great. I assume it's a he. I don't know. Is
don't
that
know.
sexist? God. February 14th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Valentine's Day.
Mittens looks
Goodbye,
like what they were aiming for in Cats when they did. Like, I feel like the makeup and costuming on Cats is based
wow.
entirely off Mittens.
That's Judi Dench.
This is more great audio.
Yeah. There's a picture. We'll put it in the
Pull it
corner,
up on
probably
your
not.
laptop or your phone. You know you've got it near you. So yeah, someone just picked up Mittens because Mittens is all about town. Like Mittens is never lost. You know, if you see Mittens on the street, it's just doing its job. But someone picked up Mittens and like took him to their flat.
That's inevitable, but also totally fucked up.
Okay.
February 15th for them.
So they were witnessed, and then I guess social media did its thing, and someone was like, saw someone picking up Mittens, putting him in a car, him or her, and everyone went crazy, and then Mittens was returned to I don't know where, the streets, and the perpetrators apologised.
Is this a don't fuck with mittens situation?
It's very much a don't fuck with Mittens situation. Yeah, so they returned it. They felt bad, intense remorse, I guess. And the only explanation was something along the lines of, well, we didn't get an explanation from them, but someone suggested it was probably they just wanted to take them back to the flat, get some selfies.
Students?
People take selfies.
We're talking about...
It's young people,
Bloody
you know.
scaffies. Mittens was awarded a key to the city.
Great.
really leading the news.
Into our
podcast.
next cat story. Nero, the commuter cat, makes a train trip from Featherston to Wellington.
This is absolutely fantastic.
You've got a lot of Featherston bias in you. And
I've got
that
Featherston
upvotes
bias. If I saw a cat on a train, I wouldn't need to do anything else for the rest of my life. I would be so happy.
I mean, I feel like we can arrange that.
Sitting on a seat,
Yeah?
going to Wellington,
Smoking a pipe,
smoking a pipe, tiny paper,
gambling
little coffee.
with some dogs.
Playing solitaire.
But what I'm wondering is like, Nero Mittens, is there something going on?
What I think is happening here is Wired Up are trying to create their own mittens. Everyone wants a mittens, and I think someone put that cat on a train to create a story to get their own mittens.
Did Nero have profile prior to this, or is this a sort of coming out party?
A cat caught a train. That's all you need to know.
A cat went to Wellington from Featherston. It's extraordinary.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Headline only: Spinach can send email now.
You heard about this?
I've not.
I don't think we should read the whole story on this because
No.
it becomes less exciting the longer you read.
I haven't read it because I don't want to know.
Classic inverted pyramid. I think my version of the cat on the train is receiving an email from a spinner.
What does the email say? Hey, Dunk.
No, I feel like it's hello, Mr. Grieve.
I actually consume a lot of spinach, so it's probably going to be pretty ropeable.
Oh yeah, we have a leaf to pick with you.
My number one like food hell is spinach when it starts to turn.
Yeah, it's the smell.
So like, as soon as you get it, it's just like, oh, you just have to eat it.
Well, no, but you know that the hack,
What's the hack?
put, like if you have baby spinach, for example, put like a paper towel in the bag, keeps like fresh for like
Inside
3 times as long
plastic
inside the
bag?
plastic bag, fresh forever.
Wow, there you
Yeah.
go.
Can't believe you
Because it
guys
absorbs
using,
the moisture,
knew
which
that.
is the problem.
Can't
I
believe you're
have
using
smoothies.
plastic bags.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty bad
Okay.
deep down.
Look, the real story is that there's some sort of nanotechnology type something where the spinach, when there's a certain level of something and it fires off something to say there's bombs or something.
How good is Science Corner? So much
There's bombs?
information.
Hello, Mr. Grieve. There's bombs.
I mean,
Release my baby children from yonder placky bank.
I prefer the idea that spinach is sending a like company-wide email to everyone. Please make sure you drink water today, get plenty of sunshine, or none of this is going to work, you know?
Forward this to 7 other people, or a scary girl's going to turn up at the base of your bed playing the flute.
I feel like are there better ways to know about bombs than spinach sending email? No, there's not. Actually, as I say it out loud, absolutely there's not. Okay. Texas, the state, not the band, are sorry after sending out a killer Chucky doll warning. So in the States, they have these things, they have these Amber Alerts, which it doesn't matter what phone network you're on, what kind of phone you've got, you just get an alert when...
We've got them.
Do we?
We've had that.
I feel like
Yeah.
I've never seen one here.
Oh, because it might have been when you just got back to New Zealand, you weren't on a New Zealand network.
No, was there
Because
one then?
the level 4 went out. Well, level 4... It's
Oh,
level
yeah.
4,
There was a
right?
couple.
Oh, no, I've had those sorts of ones. The US
there's-
ones, Amber Alerts, are specifically about children being abducted.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, and they give you information to, like, look out for this suspect or what have you and the description of the child and so on. So this is what happened is that Texas sent out an Amber Alert
I love this one so much.
about a killer Chucky doll.
Read it. Read the alert.
Oh, God. Okay. Hang on. The actual, if you got it up,
Yeah.
read it.
The message went out over the state's Amber Alert system, blasted people's mobile phones. It described the suspect as being called Chucky and listed him as a 28-year-old with red auburn hair, blue eyes, who stood at 3 foot 1 inch tall and weighed 16 pounds. He was said to be wearing blue denim overalls with a multicolored striped long sleeve shirt and carrying a large knife. His race was listed as other doll.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
My main
No.
question is, like, I like that Alex has sort of taken the real life in New Zealand to be anything that's on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's funny stories, haha. I think this is relevant to all of us, though,
It is. I don't know how, but it was their testing system. So they were meant to just be testing. Accidentally did the reply all. And
3 times.
do you know who I blame?
3 times.
Do you know who I blame? Fucking spinach.
Yeah. Spinach is just learning the rope.
It's just good writing.
And it's so whose job is that? Someone was just like, oh, I've got to do a fake thing. They could have just written up, Caucasian, 6'3", but instead they were
I
like,
feel like
I
that's
know,
also a massive child.
boring. Let's chuck in a Chucky. Whoops.
Is Chucky the scariest doll?
Yeah.
Nope.
Waipu
Waipu
Terra.
doll.
Oh, why
No, but
Terror doll. That
Chucky-
would be our Amber Alert.
Yeah.
Tell you who
go
else
out.
is another scary doll was that one that was on Shortland Street for a while. It was haunting Bella or someone. And anyway, deep
I don't
down.
remember that.
If you're a Shorty fan. I'm back into Shortland Street, by the way, guys.
I'm passively watching it.
Let's talk later. Huge development in wombat poop research. Have you watched this, Alex? Because I haven't, and I know that...
I started blasting it just before.
Get on your microphone.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, you've been
Oh, I know
terrible.
that this is really relevant to One Corny, therefore all, which is Lucy Kelly, who for some reason I remember talking about wombat poop with me at some point.
I can't imagine why people in the corner think we're interested in animal poop.
Well, the
Aren't you?
koala...
I know, I was being sarcastic, of course. It's our bread and butter.
Anyway, so there's a lot of mystery over why wombats poo like perfect cubes,
It's been something to stop them rolling away. It's an evolutionary... Don't
like
want to...
Tetris. You stack them up.
And then what, build a house with them?
I guess so. You just keep going. But it turns out that it's people thought it was maybe the like the shape of the exit.
Yeah.
But that's not a perfect. Like those kids'
That
toys where you
seems
have to put
impossible.
the cube through the square.
Like Play-Doh, kind of.
We should
Yeah.
we should belatedly preface this, it's not even a thing, by saying wombats do square poos. That's a fact, and it's something we've talked about on the pod before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made it abundantly clear
The development is...
that the cubes form in the intestines.
And
So they're cubes.
they're quite solid then, because as they're coming down the passageway, they don't get re-squished
No.
into a new shape.
So they're just,
It's
and then they just
perfect.
come out perfect cubes. So scientists know now.
So much science in this
Honestly,
pod already.
I can't believe it's taken
None
this
of
long.
this is to do with New Zealand.
I can't believe it's taken them this long to figure this out.
I know.
I'd have thought if I found square wombat poo as a scientist, I'd be like, this is my life's work. I'm not coming home tonight.
Do you think it would have been a
I'm in the lab.
worldwide mass mobilisation like the one which got us all these vaccines, just to buzz out?
Stack them up, build houses.
Thought.
Build houses. Has
Yeah.
anyone thought about that?
Sustainable.
Go beyond grand designs.
Grand designs.
Speaking
of which, last week when we announced that Grand Designs, Moller, whatever it is, Chris Moller had been had left whatever left the show.
Grand resigned.
It sounded like he'd resigned, but it turns out that Grand Designs is moving over to a new network, and they announced a new host like by that afternoon.
Has he gone to TV? Have they gone to TVNZ?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is savage because Grand Designs rates its ass off for 3.
Anyway, not anymore.
That is a brutal, and he's just loyal.
He's gone. He's off. He's out of the show. And
So who's it?
I don't know. There's a new guy. I think he's like
Like, first they got
British
the
architect or
Bachelor
somewhere.
And how they've got they're really quite ruthless, old TVNZ.
Who's replacing him? I missed this news.
Another guy.
I love Chris
like an
Wallace.
overseas person. Same. I'm hurting over this, and I would like him to pick up another show. Maybe he'll come on the Real Pod.
Well, also, cause maybe Discovery's got some formats that they're going to introduce, and Chris Muller's going to get one of them.
Anyway, can you talk to this, Alex, about Michelle Visage, because I'm not really following.
Yeah, well, this has just come through Cornies, who have been screenshotting her Instagram story. So Michelle Visage, Drag Race judge, is here in New Zealand filming Drag Race Down Under. But she has just gone crazy for sugar-free LMP. Like, she loves it. You know when people from overseas find... But normally it's like something that's been forced upon them by a radio host or, you know, like, have a pineapple lump.
What
but
did
she's
Justin
just...
Bieber had that one? What was that
LMP.
one?
Yeah.
But that was pure
Orlando
sugar.
Bloom, like that Huffer t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
It's a
He
whole
was not
list.
happy about that.
But it seems like Michelle just has stumbled upon sugar-free LMP on her own and, like, is just mad for it. Like, she puts it on her Instagram story every day. People are tweeting at her going, they've got it in the downtown. Because I think it's quite hard to come by.
Someone would have popped it in her room.
Do you reckon?
I believe it would have been in a welcome basket. Yeah.
Well, it worked.
Jane knows the ways.
Are you in the...
I know the
is that
ways.
the
I
band?
know the
industry?
ways of welcoming overseas talent into the country, and it always involves LMP.
Right.
And
Well,
usually
there was no
some
public-facing sort of introduction, at least. So it appears organic, so good job.
Tell you what I'm really into at the moment, it's hard to come by. The mint Kit Kats.
Yum.
They are so... Actually, no, they're disgusting. Stop buying them. Because I can't find them anymore. I feel like they only launched a couple of weeks ago. Don't be fooled by the little ones that are all chocolate on the outside and minty on the inside. What you need is the ones that have got the green chocolate on the top.
Green
Doing a lot of
chocolate.
action.
So...
Oh, I'm put off.
No, fine. I mean, good. But
Yeah.
that's honestly, I'm like I don't even like chocolate that much, and I'm obsessed.
Is
with
it
these things.
the normal fingers or the chunk?
Normal fingers, chocolate bottom, but green sides and top, and yum. Anyway,
There's also a cute thing that's happening where I think some organisers of the Big Gay Out are trying to get Michelle Visage to come, and they have bought a personal ad in the Herald,
That will
specifically calling for her. Like, we want an Emmy-nominated blah, 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 with a silver streak in her hair, visiting the country to come to New Zealand's biggest gay event. And she saw it. Someone tweeted at
Is
her,
she
and she's
going?
seen it and retweeted it and went, oh my God. I don't know. I think she seems like she would. She's out and about.
honestly,
you
just
see her
leave a
around.
trail of sugar-free LMP all the way to the event.
That's a great idea.
Seems like a foolproof plan to me.
That's how you do it.
How uncomfortable is too comfortable in a relationship?
When you leave in The Simpsons, jump
What
down.
frustrates you about the preconceptions around your generation?
First album you ever
If you
owned.
was to build a fantasy series, which would it be?
What was your gateway podcast?
So lucky are we to be in Wayne's World.
So long.
It's so long. Sorry, I should need to cut that down somehow. I'm not going to though. So.
No, I think you could just keep adding a little wombat poop to it each week until it's the whole pod.
Okay, so last
Like
week,
the Faust tape.
last week, Wayne's World. For those who don't know, Wayne is like a very active member of the Real Pod Corner, which you can find by searching Real Pod Corner on Facebook.
It's sort of our mittens in a lot of ways.
He's our
isn't he?
mittens. Wayne is the mittens of Real Pod Corner, our Facebook group, which you should join. It's much easier to get into these days than it has been for the last year. And last week we talked about pooing and weeing or something.
So disappointing.
We're so disgusting.
No, we're talking
I'm
about
so sorry.
we're talking about time on the
Time
loo.
on the toilet, and Alex admitted that you've now moved like magazines into the toilet.
Yes.
Mostly ones where you feature in.
Yeah.
And then Wayne took that and he created a poll, as he is wont to do in the corner, and he said, filthy habit or blameless bliss? Re last week's pod on the issue of reading in the loo. Is this something you practice / endorse? No or yes? Simple, two options, either no or yes. And we know Alex Casey endorses it. I'm pretty sure you do too, Duncan. I feel like I've seen literature in your toilet before.
Literature.
Keep a stack.
I don't personally keep books in the bathroom. I don't think I'd take a book to the bathroom, but I usually, guilty Denver, I have my phone.
Yeah. And this is what I wonder about this poll. So 44 people said no, 25 said yes, but I wonder about the yeses. How many are sitting on their phones?
But also I'm wondering about the no's who have gone like,
That's very unhygienic.
I feel like there's people going, the no's are saying, I don't read, I'm on my phone, I'm looking at TikTok or whatever, watching the vegan teacher, but I'm not
I'm changing my habits.
technically reading, therefore I'm going to say no and look like, an angel
Right.
of the toilet.
Yeah, toilet angel. Well, I got news for you. Microbes don't do well. Poo microbes I'm talking about now.
Toilet plume.
Toilet plume. Toilet plume on paper is gone within minutes.
Hang on, when you say on paper, do you mean in theory?
When it arrives on a
paper?
newsprint, it only lasts a couple minutes.
Yeah.
On a phone, hours.
But it's your own.
Hours.
It's your own problem, though, isn't it?
No, this is great news.
They've done research on it. So Kindles, iPhones, iPads, much more accommodating of germs. Bugs can live on them for hours.
Well, good.
Good. Home for bags?
Well, I just think, I think people kind of judge a book by its cover. And that's just all I've got to say about that.
It seems yuck.
But no, it's not going to stop a single person, is it?
No.
So carry on with life. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just good to know what's going on out there,
Kia ora, I'm Sophie.
I'm Simon.
And I'm Alice, and together we host the Spin-Off's food podcast, Dietary Requirements.
Join us each month as we explore a vast culinary landscape, from the gourmet
Ooh la la
to your more hearty tucker.
Onion dip, anyone?
Everything's on the table in Dietary Requirements.
Subscribe wherever you listen to all your favourite podcasts.
Kia ora, Justin Giovanetti here, and I'm the political editor at The Spinoff. This podcast, like so much of the work we do at The Spinoff, is made possible by the support of our members. To find out more about The Spinoff members and how you can help us keep producing quality, independent journalism, visit members.thespinoff.co.nz and do it today.
This is great.
5 out of 5 from me.
The nicest thing that's ever happened.
And that's the real review. Are you pointing to your Sour Patch Kids as opposed to our corn snacks?
Well, I mean,
These are not getting any more in date, that's what I'm saying.
So dusty.
Do we even want...
But that one's open.
Okay. So today, even though I teased us reviewing corn-themed snacks, that's not
there's
what's
probably
happening.
some high fructose corn syrup in there. Also, those are expired as well, just to be clear.
Okay. These are Sour Patch Kids Fire. So
They say extreme heat on them.
are they sour or are they hot?
Why can't they be both?
Okay, I'm going
Hot and sour.
I'm going in. Okay.
I'm going to eat this floor one that you just dropped. I think that's fine.
Seems fine. Oh, gross. Oh, why?
Oh, my God. You get the sour, but you don't get to enjoy the sour for long because here comes the heat.
I like that it's staged. Like it's sour, and then boom. But it's quite like for a mass market piece of confectionery, like it's not inconsiderable heat.
No. It's also very similar packaging to the regular Sour Patch Kids, which my children love, and this would screw them up.
It'd be a good way to put them off lollies. What was that? Was it Bean Boozled?
Oh, I love Bean Boozled.
You should.
That gives me nightmares. I feel like Max
Did we do Bean Boozled?
Max Key introduced us to Bean Boozled. Yeah, I was so scared. Like I was in cold sweats thinking about getting the vomit one.
The vomit one's really profoundly gross.
I miss pizza roulette as well. Did you guys ever get into pizza roulette?
No.
Oh no,
how pizza did that?
It.
It was like you could get a pizza and then if you paid like $1 more to get it pizza roulette style, which means they'd like dropped some invisible
hot sauce or something.
Scoville crazy hot sauce on it.
$1 to ruin your pizza.
One piece of your pizza. And then you hang out with all your friends. This is what I did like every weekend for like a fair few months. And you do pizza roulette and everyone takes a piece and you get it. But it was like debilitating.
Really? It was like
just Yeah. Ruins your night.
Wow.
I want to do it.
It was really
Surely you
fun.
can just do that at home. Just find
No,
some.
but it's not the same.
But it needs to be perfectly clear.
Okay.
So you don't know which one you're getting.
Okay, what are we rating?
Oh, of those things, I hate them. Get out of my
of
face.
5.
0.
I give it a 3. Bit
Yeah,
of fun,
I'll
but I
give-
wouldn't want to eat the whole bag.
Which is almost good. Yeah, I give it a 3 too. Like, I think it's pretty...
Just give me the regular ones and I will eat the whole bag and I won't be mad about it.
The only thing is they sort of stick to your teeth a fair amount.
I don't think that's
But it might just be expired.
it's not exclusive to the fire flavour. That's just jelly lollies. Okay, we don't have a sting for this next segment because it's new. It only was born last week, and now it's here. It's Critter Corner.
Critter Corner actually, I think, has inspired millions. I'm just going to say that. I've seen a lot of good content in the corner, and this has come from Wayne himself. The critter of the week, the Venezuelan poodle moth. Now, I'm just going to turn this around because I don't think you've seen this, Duncan. 3, 2, 1, Venezuelan poodle moth. Thoughts?
It's incredible. Like, it's really like sort of luxury looking. Like, it looks like it's a very, very wealthy moth and very on trend.
Have you seen this particular image? The little one?
It is so...
You need to...
I don't believe the little one, to be clear. Like, that one's not real.
There's a chance
Again,
that
great
it's not
audio.
real at all.
Go have a look. Go have a look at the
I believe
Venezuelan
in-
poodle moth.
I believe in it, but it just, yeah.
Is this real though?
What's that?
I just fell down.
James just showed me a photo of a very long dog, just for the people listening at home.
Looks like my dog, but it's got like
This could become a very
sets of
bad
feet.
segment. If
I think
it's just
Critter
looking
Corner.
at
I
things
think Critter Corner is going from strength to strength. Send in your
highly
critters.
acclaimed.
My personal email, alexandracaseyNZ
Whoa.
at gmail.com.
Whoa. Okay. One of our favourite critters in all the world.
Colin's Granny. Colin's Granny. Colin's Granny. Colin's Cranny. Colin's Cranny.
Now that-
Early again.
This
No, I thought that
has come from his personal Facebook. Yeah.
That's fine.
Do you want to read it?
I've checked and that's fine.
It's just, it's a simple 3-word question. Burgers without buns? ... question mark.
What's the answer?
No.
No. I had a burger last night. It had bun.
I mean, I'll do it.
That's a risol, isn't it?
What?
It's
No,
just
it's
a
like a
meat-
bunnis, right?
It's a bunnis.
What's a bunnis?
It's a bunnis.
First time I've ever heard this. What's a bunnis?
You wrap it in lettuce.
That's it doesn't specify that you've got lettuce. It just says burgers without buns. You know, in the States they call burgers, the patty is called the burger.
And they call the burgers a sandwich.
Sometimes, yeah.
And something's a biscuit.
Scones.
Far out.
It was a hectic 10 months of my life trying to translate everything, I tell you.
Burgers without buns.
I don't mind a bunnis sometimes if I'm trying to be virtuous.
No.
Like a Beyond Burger and a bunnis, delicious.
I really don't like the word bunnis.
Bunnis.
I think
Not
it's
into
great.
it. It makes me really
If
uncomfortable.
I have one more child, bunnis for sure. Bunnis Grieve.
Is the cutout still here? Has it gone back to its...
I can see it.
No,
it's
no,
giving
it's
me
still here.
anxiety. Why is the cutout still here? I'm going to get a
know.
voice
I
memo.
don't think he actually wants it back. I think it's like a whole kind of bit of performance art.
Colin, check your junk mail. There's definitely emails there from Lucy. We want to get this thing back to you, for fuck's sake.
Well, just show up, you know?
Show up.
Just
It's
show up
here.
for
You know where
once.
we are.
It's the community notice board.
It is unlike us to go on and on and on and run over time, but we've gone on and on and on and run over time.
Sheesh.
So we just quickly whip through this community notice board that came from Dunedin News. Shout out Dunedin.
That feels like too big.
It's quite big, the whole of Dunedin.
I thought the whole point of community was that they were just like little micro suburby kind of.
There's all sorts of different types of communities, Duncan.
Yep.
Okay, hello, it's me again. Laughing emoji. The owner.
Great intro.
And spinach is here.
The owner of the Klepto Cat Milo. If anyone around the Caversham area, Law Street specifically, is missing some socks, leggings. He literally just bought the leggings in 5 minutes ago. And one glove, then please let me know. And there's a picture here of a fingerless glove, quite a few socks. In fact, there's some pairs. So I don't know if he's gone into someone's house and retrieved like socks that have already come off the line and been paired up. And some leggings.
That's a good haul.
It's a great haul. Update, found the owners of the leggings and glove. So that's community notice board in action, reuniting stolen items.
Also, you've got plausible deniability, so you can start stealing items yourself because you've established the sort of mens rea, I don't know if I'm using it correctly, of the cat.
I don't know what that word is.
No, that's definitely not. It's Latin. I've misused it.
Just say bunnis.
But you've established this bunnis. And yeah, I just think that, let's take a closer look at the hello, it's me. Whatever they go.
Hello, it's me again.
Hello, it's me again. Well, that's a third famous cat as well of the pod.
Yeah.
So that completes the trilogy there.
And out of here, Alex Casey.
Am I going?
Yeah, we need
Who's joining?
And Tara Reid is going to find
Tara Reid?
Tara Reid!
Huge
wow! Sharknado!
I'm just going to tell her to pretend. We're gonna zoom in Tara Ward, actually, not Tara Reid.
Bye.
Bye.
Alex.
I have 4 weeks to decide if I'm going to drop my entire life for you.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
Just fine. Don't even
Reality check.
Super excited that we've got Tara Reid on the podcast.
Crazy.
Hi, Tara.
Live from New Plymouth.
Kia ora.
By Tara Reid, I mean Tara Ward. Very similar. I mean, it's easy to get you guys confused, right?
Happens all the time. We're like twins.
Yeah. So Tara writes lots of amazing TV stuff for us. Tara and I are both writing on Bachelorette NZ at the moment, but who better to beam in and recap the last 3 nights of just blokes hanging out, really.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Very pleased.
The first 3 episode week, I was quite shocked to discover that, and not going to lie, was somewhat worried about it. And after the first 2 episodes, it was like, oh God, is this going to become one of those chore seasons? And then the 5th episode, coincidentally or not, the one post-directed by Alex Casey, was extremely good.
Yeah, I think all of these episodes in isolation, happy to consume 3 in a row, is just, I'm an old lady now.
You really are.
I really am.
Time's running out.
And it feels like a big commitment. But we have to commit. That's the whole bloody point, isn't it? Dave went home. That was the very beginning of the week. Do you even remember Dave?
I can't.
Moustache, curly hair.
Oh, yeah, but he ate the egg.
Ate the egg.
Well, he should have just gone home immediately. That was disqualifying.
Well, he should have gone home when his employment status was unemployed muso.
That was really funny and quite cruel, but it was just...
I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's good to know. Because I've been there, I've done that, I don't recommend it. He should have gone home night 1.
I loved when he left and he said, I bloomed where I was planted.
Yeah.
As he was kind of being ripped out of the Bachelorette soil.
He seems like a lovely man, and he's still young. So, but yeah, there's like good cereal, like Glenn eating the lemon, and there's bad cereal, like I can't even remember his name. Still eating the egg.
The egg was an omen, a bad omen.
It was.
Glenn with the lemon from last season. Hamish physically,
I know,
reminds me of him so much.
It's uncanny, right?
Yeah. Do you remember Glenn from last season, Tara?
I think so. This season, I can't tell Joseph and Aidan apart either.
No, I know, yeah.
To one.
Aidan's got a really ropey old job description as well of serial entrepreneur.
What is that?
Love that.
Sounds like con artist.
It does have a slightly some con artistry to it.
Yeah, they're very confusing. I do really just want her to get rid of Aidan for just selfishly, just for my own benefit.
Well, also, like, if you like an Aidan type, you're going to go for Joe.
Exactly right.
Because he's just sort of a bit
He's
younger,
more-
slightly better looking. He's just like a little bit better in every respect, is what it seems like.
The 2-for-1 deal.
Damien was really sad about Dave leaving the house, and this just speaks to this bromance thing that's happening on the show. It happened last year. It's happening again. Lads. They're having such a good time. Okay, think about what Tahi Estate has on offer. You've got basketball and tennis courts. You've got a lovely pond. You've got, what else?
Handball court?
Handball. They've been playing handball.
Amazing.
They've got golf carts to run around in. They've got a beautiful pool. What appears to be a chef's kitchen when Paul's in it. This is just a lovely place to stay with 12 to 18 of your new closest friends.
And there's a bit of a divide happening, right, where you've got a group of predominantly the younger chaps who basically look like they're almost there to have a lovely time with some new mates, and then a few sort of lonely older guys who are just like, what have I done? Like, I'm sort of imprisoned in this sort of weird jail.
And there's no promise of a trip to Argentina. There's no promise of an overseas holiday. No. The best they can hope for is Queenstown. Spoiler alert. But let's talk about the mole, because she got revealed as being
her cousin.
Yeah, we thought sister, didn't we?
Yeah. Close.
Very close.
Yeah.
And they're very close.
Yeah.
It was really great when, who was it? Damien was like, who is this? I've never seen her before. And then they do a supercut of all the times that she's standing within like 2 feet of Damien.
That's good. So I don't think there was definitely a much less shocking kind of illuminating mole versus Daryl last year.
Yeah, it's so much better when they think it's a buddy,
Yeah.
And they were all looking around when they did the mole reveal. They've done exactly the same as they did last year. Out on the front steps, we're going somewhere, but first someone's going to get sent home, and here's our mole. Exactly the same formula. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Just saves
money. I kind of feel
writing.
like they could have stretched it a bit longer, like really milked it for another few episodes and kind of tried to get a bit more out of it.
Yeah,
Agree.
and get this intense, like them all being suspicious of each other would have been great. Because when they said there's a mole, there's been a mole, and they all looked around at each other, and then Lexi said, and she's been reporting back to me every night, and they all still looking around at each other.
Well, they're not all super bright bulbs, as we'll get to with theirs.
Josh went on a single date to the zoo. Nice.
Is it?
I liked a sense of humour coming through, because otherwise he's been pretty quiet, but yeah, definite friend vibes.
You don't think she's hot for Josh?
No.
How do you feel about a date at the zoo? Because we all have children, and the zoo to me is a chore.
Yeah.
A lovely chore, but a chore.
100%.
Are they also tiny little thimblefuls of beer? Did you notice that? Just the miniature little glasses.
I was terrified for a moment when they sat down for their meal that they were just going to be eating strawberries. There was just a bowl of strawberries in the middle of the table, and I was like, there was cutlery set up and placemats, and I was like, this is a terrible meal. Terrible. I mean, yum, I love a strawberry, but this is not a romantic meal. Then this delicious chickeny thing came out, and I felt I'm always looking at the food.
The KFC sponsorship is really intense this year.
Oh, they had like a whole
and it was just a very
grazing table of KFC.
Yeah.
It didn't look like enough though for me. I mean, not me personally. I mean,
because that was actually a lot.
Group date of the kind of block-esque boat
I
challenge.
really enjoyed this. It was very funny. Nathan's canoe was just like, again, felt disqualifying. Like, it just felt like there was no way. Because he killed it with the song.
Yeah.
But then that canoe was just just such bad engineering.
It was terrible engineering, and I don't want to swim in that lake. I feel bad that they're being made to swim in that thing. But also very challenge-based group dates. Like, every group date is a challenge as opposed to like a lovely time doing something.
Do you think that's what she's into? She's I mean, the saving grace, because there's a lot of guys who are just like, they're having a nice time, they seem like good people, it's not necessarily great, they're good looking, it's not necessarily great television, but she is a really, really great Good Giving and Game, Bachelorette.
She really is. She's holding the show together.
She's totally holding the show together. And we need to have some sort of heels revealed. It's the wrestling use of the term heel, because right now that's just it's. You remember last time? Who was the guy who? I'm really bad with names. He's the Australian guy who ended up getting a bob at the end of the season, which was just such an iconic haircut.
Oh, Liam, he was so great.
When he had that amazing conversation with her out on the deck. And I feel like we need more of. We've got a little bit of that with Vaz, but we had Glenn, we had Liam, we had a lot of just like big mass competitive energy that really only Zach was providing, and he's already gone.
He's already gone. I'm really surprised production let him go.
Yeah.
I was under the impression, because this is how it works in the States, that the lead just chooses who they definitely want to stay, and then production basically choose then who goes. And I think if that were what was happening here, there's no way they'd let Zach go.
No, I was surprised to see him go as well, because he's sort of conflicting with everyone else and having his tanty when he doesn't win handball and stuff, which is great. That's why I watch handball on primetime TV.
Brie, I can't remember what's his name, Tomasel? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
She was in there, a little bit of Survivor crossover, doing some of her Survivor type.
And Celebrity Treasure Island.
Is that what I'm thinking? She Survivor?
Yeah.
Anyway, all the things. Just commentating. She's great.
Yeah.
She really had her
So much
eye.
energy.
She had her eye on Paul, didn't she? Was it Paul that she was into? And he won. Paul won. Paul the chef. Very cool guy.
Very cool.
I feel like Paul the chef is a legitimately, like, he'd be fun to hang out with off the show. He's like a real person. Like, he's not there.
I have mutual friends with him.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I recognise him from I don't know where, and it turns out I've got like maybe 2 mutual friends with him on Facebook.
Jeez. But do you buy his, this increasingly the isolation and loneliness of Paul, as particularly in Queenstown theme that they're trying to get out there, which feels like the only kind of little dissonance that the show has at the moment.
I don't even know that I registered that storyline, to be honest with you.
I just did some pieces to camera where he was sort of complaining about being trapped in that very lovely Queenstown home.
Well, when you've got a bit of deer in Paris and, and you're an internationally accomplished chef, maybe being stuck in an admittedly beautiful mansion in Queenstown with a bunch of bloody yobbos.
Maybe he could start to have some conflict with them.
I'd like that a lot.
Yeah.
He did a great when he had a 7-minute speed dating, he did the great, like, do you need saving? It was right at the time when Vaz was trying to figure out.
Identical.
Well, no, he wasn't trying to figure out. He's insisting. Like, this was the hill he was dying on.
I think he should stay with this. Like, let's recap it, Jane.
Okay.
That was
I know we're jumping around, but we don't have a lot of time anyway, so we'll just
This is what it's all about. Of the 3 episodes, this was where the Bachelorette showed what it might yet become.
Vaz had some speed. Everyone had speed dating time for the last cocktail party. This happened tonight. Exactly 7 minutes each. Vaz used that time to get into an argument with Lexi about whether or not boy-girl twins can be identical twins. Boy-girl twins.
Identical twins.
I've got boy-girl twins.
Absolutely identical.
Can
I say something really embarrassing? But when he first said it, I was like, oh yeah, I reckon.
Here's the thing. There are very, very rare instances where there's sort of some weird DNA split thing that does happen, but it's like it's a syndrome type thing. It's not,
right.
It's incredibly, incredibly rare. It's not what he's thinking.
No.
I get asked that question a lot when I say that people say, "Oh, you've got twins, boys or girls?" And I say one of each, and they're like, the next question is always, or nearly always, are they identical?
Because it's the two things that people know you can ask about twins, but they just ask them in the wrong order.
Yeah, it's just a question. It's pre-programmed, so I can understand if you kind of think that for a moment, like you did, Duncan. But when you stop and you're told, no, that's not possible. At that point, he should have gone, "Oh God, of course, silly me." Instead, he was like, "No, I'm digging in. I'm digging in, and I'm going to go back." I'm going to basically risk the entire relationship on this, and I'm going to go back.
The hill I'm going to die on.
The hill I'm going to die on. He goes back to the batch pad all the guys are like, nah, bro, have you looked down your pants lately? And
what do they call it? Like opinion shopping or whatever, where you just refuse to accept the reality. You mean just keep asking people until you know, like your kids don't do that sometimes with parents. Like if they don't like the decision that's been handed down by one, they go to the other. But he is just taking it everywhere with him, just hoping that at some point someone's going to buy it. And it seems like they're only finding it more preposterous the deeper into the jurors that he goes through. And then, but his reaction is not fair cop, ha ha ha.
No.
It's like, it's sort of fury and I think I'm going to leave.
I think he's going to leave.
Which is really annoying because he's the last great hope for televisual good times.
Surely they'll roll out some intruders or something.
Oh, I'd love some intruders. That'd be amazing.
I'm so sorry about my voice. I obviously was yelling at the television while watching. I was going, no, they can't be identical all night long. And I've since lost my voice. But I feel I don't have any inkling of anything that happens on the show for the rest of the season. But I feel like there's a really good chance Vaz will leave over this because he's just ego reasons. And he's been embarrassed. He's been embarrassed in front of Lexi. He's been embarrassed in front of the lads. It's clear that he and Lexi don't have a connection of any sort. And I think this might just be the twins that broke the Vaz's back.
What do you think, Tara? You think he's going to stick around? Like, what will that?
I think they could maybe tempt him with like a one-on-one date in the next episode or something. Like he is the main point of drama. He's always got his shirt off. You know, like the house would be pretty dull without him. But I like his commitment to the identical twin thing. Stick to it. Don't back down, Vaz. Go the whole way.
I definitely sometimes employ that method of if I can just be the loudest, strongest voice in the room, perhaps I can convince other people and no one will Google this. And maybe that's just what he was going for.
Seems fine, yeah.
He also is the only person who said, you don't need a passport to go to Queenstown, do you? And I feel like that's someone to keep on the show.
Yeah, extremely.
And he's got 3 passports already. In the bio, he had 3 passports. Amazing.
Oh, no wonder he's confused.
Do you think that he means 3 stamps in his passport?
One for Queenstown.
I find, he strikes me as the kind of person he's been 6'8", chiseled and really good looking, I'm assuming his whole life. And it's a very sort of bubble boy kind of thing where that has meant that he's had a particular range of experiences. Basically, people have nodded and smiled at anything he said, and he's enjoyed that. He goes on a show where A, there's a bunch of other good-looking people, and B, this is the really important thing, is that Lexi just does not seem to find him interesting or attractive, and he's like, what? Look at all this. This is the best stuff. What is wrong with you? I'm just going to leave. That sort of seems to be where we're at, and that's sort of my theory of it.
I also have this take that perhaps he's really ashamed that it's not working out for him. Like, this is his second go on Love reality TV.
How funny was it when he did that? Yeah. Well, I was so young when I went on Heartbreak Island when I was 24, and now I'm 26, and I've seen a few things. It's just like, mate, you're exactly the same person on a near identical show.
And in that time as well, we had basically had a year of lockdowns. So... Yeah. There's nothing has been happening between the two.
Well, no, he's got a new name now.
Yeah, his surname.
Yeah.
Same name, just a different order. Let's not forget that the lovely, our intrepid travel blogger Hamish got to go to Waiheke for a lovely date where they did the ziplining racing. And...
Just terrifying stunts this whole episode, that swing.
That swing.
Exhausting.
Sorry to jump back to
No, that's okay. I just wanted to talk about the cheese.
That was
yes.
How much do you like cheese? I like cheese. I'm not a weirdo. Never a true word.
Yeah, good call. Thank you.
Give him the final rose.
Hamish, because he looks like Glenn, I think we all just assumed that he was just making up numbers, but they seem to have like a proper little vibe going.
He giggles so much. He's constantly giggling. He's the Lexi... Not the Lexi, sorry, the Lucina of this year's bunch. She was a giggler. He's a giggler. Can you imagine?
They seem quite relaxed together.
Oh, they did. Yeah. And but he's also like besties with Joe, who's Lexi's other sort of front runner.
Are they besties?
I mean, Hamish thinks they are.
So certainly that's what. But then he's also kind of ragging on them the whole time. I think they know each other, and that they've sort of whipped that up into a pair of besties.
Hey Tara,
smooth criminals.
Tara, as someone who watches US Batch, does it bother you we don't see date cards? We don't see that moment
where...
where...
It's a bit of glamour, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and it's the anticipation over the handwriting and the lovely message that's going to be inside and all the names and things.
Like, let's swings and roundabouts in our future or something, and then they go into a big swing, and they'll sit and guess what's it going to be. We're going to a playground.
It's poetry. I love it.
You're going to swing off a giant fucking bridge into a canyon.
I don't want to do that. Like, that made me feel quite... Yeah, and also Marcus, who was barely there in last season's Bachelorette, just being such a present part of it and having all this advice. Like, you were just completely invisible. How have you got any advice for Todd, who's obviously like really good?
Yeah, and also he was macking on Lexi.
That was quite amazing.
I thought like it would be kind of a cool turn of events if she just invited him to join the cast at that point. It's happened in the US Bachelor before.
Was it
Nick Viall?
Yeah, that was
bumped into Caitlin outside a comedy club, and then she invited him to join the cast, and he got top 2.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the baby challenge.
The baby challenge.
That was amazing. I've never seen wind strong enough to blow over a full vase just constantly.
I think there was no water in the vases, and that was the problem. So, put some water in the vases.
It was a very funny
first rule of
challenge.
parenting.
It is. Secondly, don't drop the baby and the table and everything on it. What amazed me about this challenge is how much she clearly is not into Jake.
Poor old Jake, because he definitely won the challenge.
He definitely won that challenge. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, he won that challenge.
And he's so nice. When Zach went home, he said, "Never stop being you, bro." I thought, oh, that's so nice.
I mean, he is the poor man's Quinn, right? And they they did a whole montage of that.
Yeah, but he's also he's a sweet dude. I think the one thing I would say, like a small knock on Lexi, is that when she's not interested, she does not even bother to pretend. Like, so having won that challenge but not been given the victory, he then somehow beat like Spider-Man Jack up the wall to win a date with her, and she was just like, "Mate, can you just go?" And
yeah, you go this way, I'll go this way. At the end of the one-on-one time.
That was one of the darkest dates. Yeah.
It was awful.
Heartbreaking.
Just on Jack, I love him.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just like physically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
That's fair.
So that's all.
I don't know how Jack beat him up a wall, because Jack was born to do rock climbing.
Jack, you could actually physically see a moment where Jack... physically, I'm lost for words.
Jack.
We need to get Jack on the pod. This would be very funny.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely not.
TVNZ, if you're listening.
No, can't happen.
Jack on the pod.
Nope. Anyway, he lost his footing at one point. Like, both of his his dangly legs were dangling around, and he couldn't get. And that was when Jake got away. I have to finish this podcast. I can't even talk.
Thank you, Tara.
Thanks, Tara.
Thank Thanks, guys.
I think we leave off with the cocktail party ahead of the next rose ceremony, so we'll be looking forward to that come next week for our 3 television hours of Bachelorette NZ. Thanks, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
Thanks, Duncan. Thanks, Jonathan. Thank you,
Jonathan.
Everyone who's listened. Like and subscribe. Do a dab for old time's sake. Make sure you write us an iTunes review and share this podcast with literally everyone you know. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Talo for Lover. I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spin-Off. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spin-Off member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I cordial with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.